My name is Elian. This is my colleague Carolina. Hi. And we're both with Public Foundation. And what is Public Foundation? So at Public, you can see us as a non-profit media agency. And what does that mean? So what we do on a daily basis, we use media for social impact. Any idea what that could mean? Yes.
Creating meaningful advertisements.
Creating meaningful advertisements. What else?
Also using social networks like Facebook or even Twitter.
Yeah, we use Facebook, Twitter. Correct. Sure.
You can use it to teach people information that they might not be able to receive through other ways, so if they can get through.
Yeah, we teach information, important messages. Take one more right here.
Like short documentaries or films or something?
We also do work with documents and films. So what we basically do on a daily basis, we find very important messages, and I think you guys have been working with one campaign called Nothing But Nets. So what we do, we work with campaigns as Nothing But Nets, and we connect them to media. So we find the way how to put them on social media, so using Facebook, Twitter, but we also find media placements. And who knows what a media placement is? Who has seen media in the world on your day-to-day interactions? Yes? Like? You see media on Facebook, but I'm talking more about like when you walk down the street, what type of things do you see where advertisement is on? Billboards, yes, you can just shout them out. Yes, television, newspapers. Exactly, so we basically work with the people that manage all these spaces. So we work with Nothing But Nets, and then we get them on a Times Square billboard so that everybody that works along Times Square will basically see, okay, there's a very important message. And so this is what we do. We're a connector between both a cause and the media. So I think you understand what we do. And now maybe I can tell you, while Carolina, actually we did have a slide for you to give you a little overview. So what we're going to do with you guys today is to give you as community sports leaders a little bit the tools to actually apply this for yourself. Because I know you guys have a lot of important things that you deeply care about. And we want to teach you a little bit the steps of how you can actually make this known to not only your community, but to a wider network, utilizing all these different media channels that are available to you. Sounds interesting?
Yes.
Excellent. Perfect. And so actually we wanted to get started, and yes, it's working. Okay, we make it in a PowerPoint, in a PDF now. So basically, the way this day is gonna work is we're gonna start off, you can just go back to the slides. We're gonna start off with just giving you guys a case study of an important campaign that we have started about 1.5 years ago, and that is still ongoing. And once you see the campaign, you will understand why it's so important. So by giving you an example of what a campaign is and how it works, the morning we're really gonna be just walking through the different steps of how do you create a message based on an issue, how do you find out where to post your message, and then we have something really cool for after lunch, which is we're gonna go to a TV studio and we're gonna record your own little videos so that you can post them as your own social media and media outreach. Yes. Excellent. And I think we actually wanted to get started with showing you video. But maybe we can just show it from online. Is the computer connected? All right, technical difficulties, which you always have to deal with. Maybe. I don't have it on my computer, no. So, do you guys have internet in here for the computers? Perfect. So basically, and I'm just going to give you an overview of the case study that we wanted to share with you while we're putting up the video. About 2 years ago, our office got a call from the Vice President, Mr. Biden's office. And he said, well, I have this issue that is really, really dear to my heart. And we need to do something about it because America has this really big problem that we just don't know how to solve. And the problem he expressed was the issue of sexual harassment on university campuses, which I see a lot of heads shaking, which is a very, very big issue in the United States, but also globally a big issue of just the way not only it's talked about or it's basically not talked about, but also the reason why it happens and what we can do about stopping it. So as public, so the video is working, so he can explain it. And I'm just going to give him the words because he's way more important than me, and so you guys get a better idea of what the project was about.
I'm Barack Obama, and it's on us.
It's on Us is a cultural movement to fundamentally shift the way we think about sexual assault. Working directly with the White House and our partners Generation Progress and PVBLIC, together we strategized, concepted, and produced the It's On Us campaign. 1 in 5 women in the U.S. today is sexually assaulted while in college, most during their freshman and sophomore years. Only 13% report the crime, 40% fear reprisal from their attacker, and the problem is getting worse, so we needed to reframe the conversation. Instead of focusing on the 6% of men who commit sexual assault, we're focusing on the other 94% of men and women who can do something about it. Let's put the responsibility on all of us to fight campus sexual assault and change the numbers forever. Launched by President Obama at the White House, It's On Us is a rallying cry, inspiring everyone to step up and realize the solution begins with you. It started with a celebrity spot to gain attention.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Which led to a pledge that became a viral badge, which became a movement. And by creating tools and handing over the campaign, a movement was started.
The White House is enlisting star power to combat a major problem.
Doing this campaign called It's On Us.
And that's why we've labeled this new initiative It's On Us, because everybody has a role to play in
Stopping sexual assault.
And what this campaign is about is really empowering those young people to step in, to get involved.
To do your part, take the pledge and watch videos.
It'sOnUs.org.
It'sOnUs.org.
4 unique entities came together to form an incredible partnership. Generation Progress is the nonprofit that is running and owning the overall program. PVBLIC secured all the media and placements to ensure It's On Us had huge reach from TV, online, outdoor, and college campuses nationwide. Mechanism is the creative agency that concepted and developed the assets. And the White House drove the initiative. We launched with the #1 video on YouTube, 2 Twitter trending topics, over 2 billion impressions, and over 1 million visits to our site. Over 100 signed partners, over 1,000 colleges and universities have signed on and even created their own PSA videos. Thousands of individual t-shirts have been purchased and worn, and hundreds of thousands of people have taken the pledge. It's On Us has become a viral badge that is a symbol of courage, an icon of responsibility. We are now showing people what it means to step in.
This isn't a PSA about a sexual assault.
Why do you want to go home? Go on, man, drink. Yeah, party, man. I already know you're not going to go. Stay right here and hang out.
It's about being the guy
I think that
who stops it.
It's On Us, developed from a deep partnership, is a rallying cry for men, women, community leaders, role models, and companies and organizations to say it's on us to change our culture for good.
So that's the example. They don't have to clap, but thank you. And so basically, just to get back to what we do, as you saw in the video, we really
Hello, today
find a cause.
We're talking about stylescapes in this part of our design series.
I think that's just YouTube that keeps wanting to talk to us.
We're getting a lot of questions about that online. So shifting gears.
So the It's On Us campaign, as you can see, it's like a very deep, concerning issue that there are millions of different ways how you can address something like this. And the way that was addressed here is really to not look at who are the people committing this crime, but who are the people that can actually do something about it. And with that, empowering a much bigger percentage of people that are not bystanders, but that the people that can actually do something about it. And so this is what the campaign is really focusing on, because what was found in the research was that, okay, if you have this issue, but you only address the 5% of people that commit these crimes, then you will not really be able to change a lot. So therefore, we work with really smart agencies like Mechanism that help us really come up with how to formulate that message that will touch most people and then place it in the right areas. And so this is just an example we wanted to show. So this is like the campaign outcomes after a month. And I want to show you just two quick things where obviously we posted it on the different social media channels from Facebook to Twitter. We also had a web page, but we also used these like badges and icons that everybody could put on their own profile, in their own signatures to really identify themselves with the movement. Because when you give people these badges and they can take a pledge and identify themselves with, it makes them much more empowered than when they say, yeah, sure, I care about it, but not really have anything to identify themselves with it. So some of the other numbers, obviously the YouTube video you already heard that it had great success. T-shirts and merchandise is always a great way where to place your message, that people will actually see not only what you care about, but also the important things that are really out there. And I think, yeah, these are a lot of numbers, and obviously it's big numbers because we also are fortunate enough to have amazing partners that get that message out. And so what we would love for you to do, just as a preparation now for the different things that we will be doing, is to form groups of 5 that we will be working on throughout the entire day. So I would love to get you guys now around the tables, form groups of 5, and ideally somebody from a different country in each group. Just because the conversation should not just be about what's the problem in America, but we really want to look at it, what is the problem in your area, in your region, and so that you guys can also learn from the other participants that are here, because I think that's also one of the big parts why they bring you together with these different cultures, so you can learn from them. So I know you already set up a little bit mixed up, so if you want to just get around 5 people, same table, and discuss for like about 10 minutes, and I might cut you a little shorter because we're running late. Just share what you know, what the experience is in your region, in your community, in your environment.
Later, but we got to move on because we want for you guys to have a little bit more time to talk and come up with something yourself. So we're going to move on and to kind of give you a brief of how the campaign should be created and like what actually happened throughout the whole creative process and how the strategy came together. We wanted to show you like this. It looks complicated, but it actually makes a lot of sense graphs. I want Elian to kind of go through it and tell you a little bit of how the whole process of the partners coming together, coming up with this PSA, with the whole campaign engagement plan went through for this campaign that it's been already going on for 2 years, and it's gaining momentum more and more every single day. So, Elian.
Yeah, and again, just because of time, I think we anyways gonna share all the slides and all the videos and everything with you later, but this is basically what we call a campaign brief, where we bring all the different elements together that are needed to come up with a campaign and a key message. So basically, you really start by what you guys just did. You look at the issue. You talk about it from all the different perspectives, like what is the problem? Once you have identified this, you also look at whose problem, or who is, I guess because if you look at a social campaign versus a campaign to promote a brand like Nike, it's basically the same process. So what is the business that we are in is like, what is the issue to be promoted? Who are the consumers? Like, who are the people that need to hear this message that will either buy your product or really listen to what you have to say and then implement it? And then obviously you have the brand, which is what is that collection of ideas? What is I guess when you talk about a Nike, like what is the Nike, the feeling, the experience that you're really selling to the people? And I will share this with you again, like as a presentation, but just because of the timing, maybe I can go to the next slide, which is a little bit briefer, and it's the same idea. So it's, you guys just identified what the key issue was, which I'm sure that throughout the conversations from the different countries, yes, it's the same issue, but in every country it's talked about differently, it's addressed differently, and it affects people differently. So once you know what your issue is, obviously you have to address like who do you need to talk to in order to get this message across. But it's more so than, okay, you have the people that you want to address, but then you also have to pick like what are the channels. By channels meaning, if I live in a rural village, let's say somewhere in Asia, and I don't have internet, it doesn't make sense for me to do your YouTube campaign. So you really clearly have to define like what are the different channels the people that you want to reach are actually using. After you know who you're talking to, how you talk to them, you really define your objectives. So what is it that you're gonna precisely tell each of these groups through what channels? And once you have that, you can then, because you know I am talking to a 5-year-old that doesn't have internet, I need to communicate this message. What is the message for him and how do I communicate it? So these are very much the simple steps that you go through for a campaign. And just because today we have the opportunity to take you through a bunch of different steps, I want to just give you the idea, and again, we will share some more information of how you guys can get like a toolkit to apply this for your own projects, for your own ideas. But what we want to focus on here today is actually the next step. And so to really understand, okay, now you know your issue, but now go back into your groups and maybe not 10 minutes, but like a little 5 minutes, do one quick round and share what the people your age, your communities, which channels they use. And I know there's going to be a lot of YouTube, Facebook, Twitter conversations, but also think like what other tools people use. Like I have screens on my university campuses. I meet in church groups and I can show videos there. And so really think about the video aspect because that's what we're going to be creating today. And when you go back home, we want you to take the video, obviously, and place it in these different channels. So just have one quick round, share what are the, let's say, 3 best channels that you guys use to reach young people from your community? No, so I think, and I hope these conversations were interesting to you, because for me it's always when I have these campaign briefs for global campaigns and you actually get to discover what channels other cultures or countries use, it's often a lot of things that you would never think of, and maybe sometimes you can actually apply them in your own community and environment as well, which, you know, never thought about it before. So yeah, moving on from, you guys identified what was the issue, or we suggested an issue and you discussed and really, I guess, understood a little bit not only what is happening in your country, but also what is happening around the world concerning this issue. Now you know how, when you create a campaign like this, where you would actually place it for people to hear. The third step in this process will then be, we need to create this message, which is basically creating that video that you will be using to raise awareness on the issue and what people can do about it. And I was actually just talking to the group back there. The reason why we choose to do the sexual harassment campaign with you is because it's an ongoing campaign that we are running, so it's a good example. It's also a very, very important issue that needs to be addressed globally. We identified this. But it's also, you guys already know a lot about it. You're familiar with it. So we don't have to literally start from zero, because we also don't have all day. Because what is happening right now, we basically have an hour for you guys to come up with your own video. And we're going to give you 3 examples of the videos that have been created for the It's On Us campaign. So it's on us to do something. It's on us to not be a bystander. So we show you the 3 examples, and then we give you a little brief on how you guys can come up with your own campaign video. All right? So we're going to go give you 3 examples. So bear with us. Watch some videos. Have fun.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
So that was one example. And I think I heard that also coming up earlier in a lot of conversations. So it's not just not to be a bystander, but it's the whole conversation of consent, exactly. Which I don't know who else had this discussion in their group, but it's very much a very crucial aspect of the whole issue. So basically the second round of the campaign, that's the first campaign, first year focused on don't be a bystander. The second year very much focused on consent.
Yeah, now also the campaign was very much focused on the fact that people can take ownership and create their own movements and take it to their own campuses, take it wherever they need to take it. So the second video I want to show you is actually made by Stanford athletes, and they made their own video to kind of address it to their own community.
At Stanford,
we're a community of respect. Respect for ourselves, respect for each other.
We're a community that cares for each other.
That supports one another.
Preventing sexual assault and relationship violence is our responsibility.
all of us.
All of us.
All of us. It starts with each one of us. It's not a joke.
And it's not just a women's issue.
And we can't pretend it's not an issue.
It's on us.
It's on all of us to promote a culture of respect.
To do the right thing.
To support the people around us.
So think about a few things. Communicate. We all need to communicate more and better.
Talk with your partner and listen.
Consent should never be assumed.
Alcohol is not an excuse.
Don't let alcohol get in the way of good decisions.
Communicate with your friends.
Be there for them. Talk about what's okay and what's not okay.
Ask them questions.
Help them think about what they're doing, how they want to be viewed by others.
Help them think about the words they use. Words matter.
Words matter.
If someone's talking about another person in a derogatory way, in an offensive way, call them out on it. Don't let that be part of our culture.
Most importantly, don't be a bystander. If you see something, say something.
If you see someone heading the wrong way in a situation, stand up, intervene.
There are easy ways to do it.
Distract, divert, disrupt, say something, do something that changes the situation.
This is our family. It's not you and me, it's not them, it's us.
What happens here affects all of us, so make good decisions.
Lead by example. Remember, it's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us. It's on us to create the relationships and the community we want here at Stanford.
Well, so to be honest, I've Googled a lot. Like, I went to YouTube yesterday, and that was one of the first ones that showed up. So probably just because of what happened recently, like, that was the first one that was popping up. Because before, it wasn't really that high, but that was one of the first ones.
But it's, go ahead. Sorry.
When was this produced?
That was a year ago. Yeah, it's a year ago. So if you go on YouTube, it was uploaded, like, around a year ago. Okay, cool. And the last one we want to show you is like something different. So also a lot of comedy groups and a lot of different types of communities came together to do something that appeals to their communities in a fun way. So the last one is kind of funny. So we wanted to show you a different way that you guys can also think about it.
Oh man, I've never had more fun in my whole life. Daddy's had a bear. I'm gonna go another one, Dad. Is your car?
No, Lamar, stop doing magic. You're not good at it.
Guys! Oh, dude! There's a bear in your other room here.
What? Oh, that's just a big, angry, hungry bear. Just pretend it's not there.
Oh, really? It'll just go away? What are you talking about?
No, I don't think it's going anywhere, but I don't know what to do about it, so I just ignore it.
So it's not dangerous, right?
Define dangerous. It's a bear. Well, you know, it's not going to eat all of us. It only eats like 1 in 5. I said only 1 in 5. So we're fine. That's a lot, man.
That means one of us is going to be east.
Statistically, that doesn't mean one of us. It means 1 in 5 people.
Doing something about this, man.
Hey, what do you want me to do about it? You guys know the old saying, bears will be bears.
That's not a saying.
A bear will be a bear. So
You can't just blame the bear. Now when it's attacking 20% of the people who come here.
20%. I said 1 in 5. 20%. No, it isn't. It's 1 in 5. You math nerd. I love this guy.
You gotta get rid of this thing. Or at least warn us that there's a bear in the other room, man. We gotta look out for each other. What are you doing?
Hey, what happens between you guys and the bear is none of my business.
Wait, how is this none of your business, man? 1 in 5 people are gonna get attacked by this bear.
You're overreacting. The bear is not going to eat all of us. It'll be less than a quarter of us.
This is all, Jake. 1 in 5. How can your doorstep so important? I can never protect your pride. 1 in 5.
So basically, there's different approaches as long as it works to spread your message and get your word across. So now, you guys, it's the time to get creative. And as we mentioned before, after lunch, we're going to go to a studio and we're going to be recording the PSA. So now we have around an hour for you to come up in your groups with a script. And the script should be, for the whole video, to be around 2 minutes. So we don't want to go over that because then it kind of might get boring. And it's like, you know, YouTube, like you don't really watch more than two-minute videos. Be creative. So like think of how actually that message will get to your communities wherever you are. You guys are mainly in sports. So think of what can appeal to your peers, your colleagues, your communities. And then after that, so you guys have around 1 hour now. And then after that, we're going to have 6 scripts. So we're going to have a short presentation, and then you will vote for top 3. So we're going to go to the studio with a top 3. So among each other, you're going to pick 3 top ones that you like the most. And before that, to help you a little, we have some wording, so what has been used for the campaign in general. So this is the toolkit. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put those words on the whiteboard, and then we're going to put the language on the presentation. So here you can see the language. You guys can also come and take pictures if that's easier, so you can have it on your tables. So here's the whole language that it's being used for the whole campaign. And then there's some facts as well that you can use in the scripts you guys are going to be coming up with. Yeah, and also what we just talked about is you are from very diverse backgrounds, and also you speak many languages, so you can play with the language part as well. So if you think that you want to play with different parts, between us two, we also have like 5 languages, so you can use us as well. So yeah, get to work. If you guys have any questions, we'll be around here for the whole hour. And enjoy.
And like really think of the process, like what we just went through. We know exactly what the issue is. We do know we want to create a video. And I think you have seen 2 extreme examples where the first one is actually much easier to create. And guys, if you can just give me 1 more second. So the video from Stanford, that's obviously a much easier production than the second comedic one. So our idea in the studio is obviously, and we have limited resources to work with, and we cannot build like get bears in there and living rooms. So if you want to also keep that in mind, and maybe language-wise also focus more on the first 2, I guess, the speaking into camera, but be creative as in the second one. And have fun making it. So if you have any questions, again, just ask us. All right, give it up for group number 1. All right, 2 minutes, go.
Sex without consent is rape.
In India, majority of rape cases are never reported.
In Botswana, one of the major crimes is sexual assault and rape.
In Seychelles, rape in the sporting community is not taken seriously.
In South Africa, gang rape and murders are steadily increasing.
I felt afraid.
I felt angry.
I felt weak.
I felt ashamed.
I felt alone.
Why me?
Do you know what you did?
Why?
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 Don't be ashamed.
It's not your fault.
You are not to be blamed.
Stand up.
Speak out.
We need your support.
It's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you. It's on us.
It's on us.
All right, 2 minutes and go.
Okay, so we're gonna kind of explain ours because it's kind of difficult to understand without the effects and everything. But basically, we're gonna show faces at the beginning and show everyone's face, just varying faces, and then he'll read his dialogue right here.
So I'm like acting as like one of the 5 people, but as I'm the narrator, it'll just be like a voiceover.
Yeah, voiceover of the faces. So read yours.
Sexual assault is a universal issue. It doesn't discriminate against
Gender,
race,
religion,
ethnicity,
or language. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted in college. It's on us to recognize when it's time to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
9.
No.
No is a universal language. Sexual assault is a universal issue. No means no. We stand together.
When we stand together.
It's on us.
It's on us.
Okay, so we're gonna explain ours just a tiny bit too because we don't have like space and we want you to know exactly what our vision is. When someone is going like this, they're actually in a plank.
Like a plank on the ground?
When you're like the ab thing.
Because we're going like with a sports like workout.
Yeah, but it's like you won't be able to see us. And the
So-
second thing is, Aaron is just gonna say a couple things in between something that we're gonna, like some of our dialogue. Those things we actually want to just be
written on the bottom,
projected on the bottom of the screen.
Like like it'll be like a pause with like that kind
Words
of thing.
on the screen. Great. So like we're not in the screen, only Aaron's in the screen. When we walk in, we'll be in the screen.
What are you doing?
I didn't play well yesterday, so it's on me to work harder.
Well, I played well, so it's not on me.
It's on us. We have to accountable for each other.
Hold your friends accountable to stop sexual assault.
Each member of a team has a role to play.
Realize we all have a role to play in stopping sexual assault.
You should step up. We're part of a team.
Be a part of the solution, not the problem.
You know what? You guys are all right. We are a team. This is on us.
1 in 5 college women are sexually assaulted before they graduate. It's on us.
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 Hopefully that made sense.
So for ours, while we are speaking, the name of our country is going to be displayed on the screen with us.
With the flag.
Yeah.
It happens at parties,
on campus,
in our neighborhoods,
It happens.
to friends.
to students, to family members,
It happens to anyone
It happens.
because of alcohol.
because of power, because of poverty.
It's happening now.
I need you.
He needs you.
She needs you. We need you.
To make sure it doesn't happen.
It's on us.
这是我们的责任。
Está en nosotros. Como gorro.
Kuqhubeke kuthi.
It's on us for change.
Okay. Okay, we will also explain our vision. So Asha is our narrator off to the side and will join us a little bit later. The plates are very lovely props that we have in front of us. Will be filled with ideally food. Okay, so visualize that we're in a cafeteria of some kind. We have plates of food here in front of us. Oh, I lied. One is covered. So think of it like a takeout container. Half, so it's slightly open. And this one is not covered at all. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Sexual assault is never the victim's fault. It doesn't matter what she does, where she goes, or where he goes. Sorry.
Whoa, what are you doing?
It was open.
What's up? Can you hold it for me?
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing? I said hold it for me.
No, it's mine, no! My clothes or my attitude?
My culture.
My gender.
Does not make me a target.
Call non-consensual acts what they are.
Assalto sexual.
Uitelan ko ka dukog.
L'agression sexuelle.
Abuso sexual.
It's on us.
It's
on us.
So guys, we're also going to introduce ours a little bit. We're going to be kind of like 3 sections, obviously very short because we don't have much time. But the first one will be like more of a skit, or kind of like you guys just did, like I guess live action you could say. The second part is just us standing and speaking, so more in like a closed shot. And the last part is us speaking like almost every group has done, in different languages, kind of all together. So, and the setting is like the morning after a party in 2 separate dorm rooms, or 2 separate rooms, so the women and the men. Man, did you see what she was wearing?
Dude, and the way she was wearing, she was definitely asking for it.
Hey, Koga, what were you wearing?
You know, we were both like really drunk.
Dude, then it's all good.
How many drinks did you have, Nicola?
You know, I think she liked it.
I mean, she didn't tell you to stop, did she?
Yeah, I did say no.
Hey, it doesn't matter what she was wearing. It's not her fault. Doesn't matter how many drinks she had. It's not her fault.
It doesn't matter if I didn't see him.
35% of women worldwide have experienced either physical and or sexual violence by a non-partner in their lives and are consistently blamed for being the victim. Altogether, we can change the conversation.
Yenya Chigerno.
Es nuestra responsabilidad.
So not responsibility.
¿Qué me cara pero hago?
It's on
It's
us.
on us.
It's on us.
Yeah. Okay, so we wrote ours out. We thought we were just going to pitch the idea. We didn't think that we were actually all going to come read it until we saw everyone reading it. So we wanted to incorporate everyone here and everyone and represent all our nationalities. So we have the same thing, like everyone's going to read out, like it's on us in their own language, and then, or in their own accents or whatever, and we have all the countries listed, so we're going to try and do that. Yeah. Start? Okay. America.
Canada.
India. Taiwan.
Tanzania.
Ukraine.
Nigeria. Guatemala. Colombia.
Ethiopia.
Trinidad.
Barbados. St. Lucia.
We come from many cultures, but that's create one.
A culture free of sexual assault.
Where we're responsible for our actions.
Where we all always look at for each other.
Where we start to make a difference.
No matter where you're from. Oh, sorry.
No matter where you are from, sexual assault affects all of us.
Want to read this together?
One
in 5 women experience sexual assault.
1 in 16 men experience sexual assault.
It could be your sister, your
girlfriend, your mom.
Your dad, boyfriend, or brother.
Think about who you want to protect.
Every victim is precious to someone else.
If you don't stop it, your support it.
It doesn't take much to save a life.
Recognize the situation.
Look for someone who's had too much to drink or is under the influence.
Hold people accountable even if they are your friend. This is crossed out.
Oh, step up and act when you see something.
And then we go, it's on us to create a culture free of sexual assault. And then we go through the whole sequence again.
Yeah, so America and then India would say it's on us, but in all different languages. All the way through.
So now it's going to be voting time. So we're going to explain the voting procedure. You guys had 7 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now every single person in their heads, think of top 2 you guys like. Every person. Now, you can vote at home. Top 2 you like.
So you can vote for yourself, but then make a top 2.
Yeah, make a top 2.
Wait, what?
And then what she's gonna do, guys, every person quietly. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the board. Each one of you goes to the board, takes a marker, and put 1 line next to the group, next to 2 groups you like. So if I, for example, like group number 1 and 7, I'm gonna do this, and then 7. Okay? So every person does that. We have a lot of markers, so try to do it quickly.
And number 3.